Everybody, we are now on episode 8 of GenX versus AI. Wow, have I learned a ton just in 2 weeks of doing this and forcing myself to do these lives. Again, the reason I'm doing this is to be selfish. I know that if I schedule these lives Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays at 7 p.m., it will force me to learn a little bit more about AI and AI software to be able to do these Zooms. And if not, I'm just going to learn it live. So you're going to watch me struggle through it as I learn more things. So in episode 7, I was working on trying to develop a AI website. What I have basically learned is you can develop these AI websites, and some of them are great. Spoiler alert, 10 web was my favorite. I felt was the easiest, and no, again, it was just doing a very simple website. I was using the case scenario of a photo scanning service business and trying to create an AI or website for it. So I did use probably 5 or 6, but what I can tell you 100% for sure is you will never get, or at this point I could not find a free AI web building tool. There were plenty that built them and kept them up for 7 days. Some I couldn't even try because you had to put a credit card in even to try the tool, which I did not want to do. 10 web, I was able to, I got the furthest with 10 web, and I really liked it. And I believe that one is up for 48 hours. I never actually went back to look to see if it's still up, but 10 web develops it for about 48 hours, and then you have to pay to keep it up or to go live. So in the end, I did not end up using it, and I was disappointed because some of those were really, really nice. What I ended up doing that I thought for my purpose worked out perfectly fine was this card, CARRD.co. And I think the runoff is obviously card, like a business card. So this one created a very simple website, right? So you've got premiums and you've got free ones. I just picked a free one. I did have to customize it. I did use AI to give me wording. I had AI create some pictures. So ultimately, I did use AI, to help me build the website, but it did not 100% build my website. I'm just kind of looking. I thought I'd saved a link for, oh, here it is. Okay. So here is the website I ended up building for a photo scanning service, So again, just a simple one-page website, but free, and will stay up here for free. So all I did is I did buy the domain name, which I am struggling with. So that one I'd have to still figure out. From GoDaddy is I bought the domain name, and again, that was inexpensive. It was like $11 a year if I paid for 3 years up front. But photo scanning, I'm just checking to see if it's up, because the last time I checked it still was not working. Okay, they did work now. Okay, so that's good. That was nice and quick. So my domain name from GoDaddy then just redirected to this website. I can tell you the GoDaddy one did not really work. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. And I even got a customer already, and he said I was not able to look at your website. So I used ChatGPT to see if there was a workaround. There was a workaround. I got to be honest, I followed the instructions and I can't even remember. Let's see. The workaround was this other website. Is this it? No, that's not it. That's a resizer I used for pictures. I don't know. Just ask ChatGPT and it will go through the workaround to make that domain forwarding instant like you just saw me do. So I just had a professional domain that will redirect to this website very quickly. But again, it's just a very simple website. I did struggle with the buttons a little bit, but eventually figured it out. You hit pricing. All it's doing is sliding down to the next section. But at least, somewhat neat. So I am very happy with that. I've got a website up and running in a day. I did struggle though. So again, with my YouTube lives, I do want to go live, or I do want to go to some live news. Let me see. You'll be able to hear this. So some live news I picked out is they had in China a marathon where they had some robotic runners. So the good and bad news. Now again, I don't know. These aren't big companies like the BMW Helix and Elon Musk robots and stuff like that. So I don't know if these are just individual people making robots or small companies. But let's see
against humans for the first time in a half marathon in China's Beijing on Saturday. The robots were accompanied by human trainers who sometimes had to physically support the machines during the race. One of the robots fell over at the starting line and lay flat on the ground. Another crashed into a railing after running a short distance,
Jeez.
causing its human
that looked a little dangerous
to fall over. The winning robot, Tiangong Ultra, finished in 2 hours and 40 minutes. A long way to go before it can surpass the men's winner, who finished in 1 hour and 2 minutes.
Okay, so I suspect these were either smaller companies or individuals or something of that nature. So I do think robots are probably way further along when you come to the huge companies that are developing them. I did find another article, if I see where I saved it here, just talking about really are AIs and robots going to be replacing our jobs soon. So let's hear what this news report had to say.
Is artificial intelligence really taking jobs away from people as it expands? Let's get into it. The introduction of ChatGPT and image generating tools led to a nearly immediate drop-off in applications for gig workers, according to the Harvard Business Review. That research showed that writing jobs were the most effective, with a 30% drop-off in job postings after ChatGPT was introduced. In general, that research found that automation-prone jobs are the most effective. Other than writing, that affects jobs like web development and engineering. But it's not...
Yeah, I really think even with me if I was willing to pay for it, there's no question that I would have I used 10 Web first, and it was done within minutes, and it was what I would say a very complete and functional website, and that could have been up and running in a half an hour, having that done, having the domain, have it redirected. So I would say a full AI website is very possible. I think ultimately it would only be like $10 a month. So for web developers, I have no question that web developers, bloggers, content creators, all of those I think are going to feel the pinch of AI the quickest. Now, I think a lot of those workers will probably convert to AI users and developers and programmers or prompt engineers, because the real idea is how to say the right things to get what you want, the AI to do for you. So, prompt engineers. So let's see what else it says.
Not just web developers and writers who are being affected by this. Wall Street could lose over 200,000 jobs to AI.
Yeah, imagine that. I mean, Wall Street, AIs can do the research way quicker. We always hear about these AI bots that are doing trading. Now, I don't know. You never know what's true or not, but it's awfully tempting. Can you imagine if you can, create or have or buy an AI bot that, just follows the trends? Some people, literally trade only based on graphs. But man, I would love to see an AI bot, and they probably already have it, that can watch and read graphs and trends and PE ratios and social buying and watching news and be able to analyze all that and say, wow, okay, this company will probably go up because of all these things, or this company's going to go down, so it's time to sell. So I have not done that. I don't know what that's going to do in the future, because if AIs are all doing the same thing, that may have a major effect. Maybe we're already seeing that with these major, swings in the market. If all these AIs are coming up with the same information, I don't know. So that's going to be very interesting. But as far as traders and calling your stockbroker and, having them do trades for you, I mean, that's going more and more, if it hasn't already gone by the wayside. That's been around forever, but I think it's practically free. If you're buying stocks, it's literally free to trade. I think the fees are if you're getting into, options and margins and, other kinds of trading, but just straight stock trading is next to nothing as far as commissions go.
Over the next 3 years, according to Bloomberg. Bill Gates also recently suggested that AI could help fill job shortages in teaching and medicine. McKinsey Digital reports that half of today's work activities could be automated by AI by 2030 to 20.
2030 to 2060 is certainly a huge range. But if we're talking about half of the jobs, half of the jobs, we're not saying 3%, 7%. Obviously, it will start at those, but can you imagine what happens to the world economy if half of the existing jobs are replaced? So even saying 2030 is extremely scary. Can you imagine half the jobs? Now, I don't think that'll happen, but can you imagine half the jobs replaced by 2030 by robots and AI? So even in the next 15 years, 15 years will go by very quickly. So it will be here before you know it.
2060. But it's not all bad. That same Harvard research found that jobs requiring AI-related skills are actually rising. For Care 11.
So that last part, that's really why I'm here now, is I want to learn all kinds of AI, software and skills. I'm kind of a serial entrepreneur. I have created many, many businesses. Some successful, some not. And if I can really learn about AI software, AI tools, I think that's going to only help me in the future for my own businesses. But here's what I really believe. The baby boomer generation, right, are retiring. And a lot of them, right, are small business owners. And what we're finding is they're having a harder time to sell that. If it wasn't for, I don't know, if the generations were the same, and generations, were the same as their parent generation, they'd be lining up to be purchasing these businesses. Well, I think they're finding, the baby boomer generation, they're finding that maybe their kids don't want to take over the business, and they're having a hard time finding the people that want to buy and run, because a lot of businesses, you're working 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, or at least in the beginning. And I think we're finding a population that, because of the gig economy for the work at home, and I'm one of them. I've pretty much always worked from home or worked out of the house. That they don't want to show up at a shop or show up at a business to work, 40 or 50 hours a week. So with all that, I think what's going to happen is the next wave are people that are extremely skilled in AI tools and robotics and know what's out there. and they might start with using them from their own business, then maybe consulting with other businesses and getting paid to implement AI into a company. And then ultimately, for the real ambitious ones, I could see just going around and buying all these companies from these baby boomers that are looking to retire. And I don't know, maybe I own a dry cleaner that I have 10 people working for me, and there's a lot of manual labor of somebody working at the count. I have no idea, but taking orders and grabbing the bags or baskets of clothes and having to separate them and put them in the machine somehow and take them out and keep them separated. But so imagine in the next 5 years, if I help or create one dry cleaner that has a robot or robots and AI, taking the orders, separating the clothes, hooking them up to the machines, or putting them in the washers and dryers and folding them and stacking them and whatever, right? And I now can buy that business, and I'm not saying it's good or bad, it's just what's going to happen. Eliminate 8 workers eventually and have 2 workers and 2 or 3 AI robots, and now every dry cleaner in the US, across the world, has the potential to do the same thing. And that's just one example, right? We've already seen these AI lawnmowers. I have no idea, how effective they really are, but I can imagine them getting better. I don't know, I'm sure there's danger and stuff there too, but if I cut lawns for a living, and I have to set up this AI robot and then I map it and then I save it as John's lawn, and now once a week I show up with my AI robot, lawnmower, and I drop it off and have it cut the lawn, and I come pick it up in a half an hour. How many jobs is that going to replace? It's those 2 little examples, right? We already know that it's going to be replacing, people at grocery stores, and there's even, I haven't seen it, but I guess there's robots that are scanning and stacking inventory in grocery stores around here in the Buffalo, New York area. So again, I think it's going to happen really quickly, and I'm 53, so I'm really doing this also for the older generation that, yeah, there's a million YouTube videos, but usually they're so fast and they're all done by these 20-year-olds that, if you want a slower, older person struggling through it so you can see what I'm going to do, that's kind of what this channel is all about. So anyways, all right. So what am I going to do today? I never felt like we've completely, out of 8 episodes, I get sidetracked, and which is great, but I don't think I've ever really found the tips and tricks of using ChatGPT. Now, what I can tell you, in 2 weeks, the amount that I have used AI now is unbelievable. I hardly do anything without using AI at this point. So just learning the capabilities, getting more comfortable with it. I have personally used it a whole ton, and will continue to do it. And I can already see getting very dependent on it. So whether that's good or bad, I have no idea, and I love it. I mean, I am completely jazzed up. I more than any time in my life, I want to live long enough to watch and see all this happen and come to fruition. So what I want to really do is go through ChatGPT and learn a little bit more now. So again, this is the browser version. If you watched my last episode, I showed you how to make a hotkey. So mine is Alt X, which will pop up ChatGPT app that I have downloaded on the computer. this is the browser one, right? I've just saved them up in my upper, save bar in my browser. So this is ChatGPT, this is Claude, and they all look very similar. Gemini. Now, I guess Gemini 2.0 or 2.5 is out. I don't know if that's a paid for one or not. Oh, it looks like. So again, but I did see. So here's the cost, right? So outputs. So it looks like that's a paid version. So is there a non-paid? I'm sure there is. So yeah, so you could pick your older versions with then maybe free. So again, you got to play with them. I've used ChatGPT probably 40% of the time. I have used Copilot, that's the Microsoft version, 40% of the time, and mainly because it just pops up so easily. As simple as that. I am using it because it pops up. I'm sure all these other ones you could create. Let's try it now. So I'm on Gemini. Let's see if Gemini has a hotkey possibility. So I don't see it there. If I do it here, I don't see it. So let me ask it. Let's see. So it's thinking, I believe. I don't know what it. Okay, so yeah, it's thinking. So I'm on the 2.5 Pro. And I think these are like some more deep thoughts, deep learning, this, that, and the other. Whatever, right? So let me just see if this says. So. Okay, so make sure Gemini is enabled in your Chrome settings. Icon in the address bar. So I might have to make it a Chrome extension is what they're saying, maybe. Chrome often has default shortcuts. Alright, so they've lost me already. I don't feel like going through all that. To go back and review real quick, if I was using... So Copilot, Internet Explorer automatically updates with Windows, and the hotkey is Alt Spacebar, and that brings that up. I wanted a ChatGPT hotkey, so if you go to your name at the top right, you go to Settings, you go to Personalization. No, I'm wrong. Okay, I don't remember where it was. Personalize, I would have thought. General, it's got to be in general, right? Okay, I don't remember where it is. I'll customize probably. Nope, that's not it either. Well, you can see, right? Here's the struggle. So I believe it's under settings somewhere. Those you watching probably have already seen it, so I apologize. Personalized. No, maybe I need to be in the app because I'm in the browser here. Well, that would make more sense. So the mistake I'm making is I'm not in the app. So let's see. Can I find it quick or do I? Yep. Well, I said, yep, too quick. Settings, shortcuts. Okay, so Alt X, just because I've already set it up. Settings. See, if you're like me, you just don't have much patience. So this is something I've learned. So this app setting is here, right? This is the hotkeys. Like I said, you know, the last episode where I was getting confusing when I clicked on that and it was saying recording. I had no clue what it meant. It just means, hey, dummy, just use those keys that you want. And it looks like that key was for something else. So, oh, see, now that didn't work because that same key is for something else too. I don't even know. Oh, that must be my GeForce card. So I used Alt Z. So now that's a conflict. So now I need to open up ChatGPT. Oh, there it is, still good in the background. Because I was just trying to make an example, so I need to change that to Alt X. Okay, so Alt X, it's there. Let me just confirm, close it. Alt X does now open ChatGPT. Alt spacebar opens Copilot. So if I could find a way to do the same. So what I learned is I was looking for that same setting in the app and it's not there, or in the browser ChatGPT. So the setting is not there. You have to go to the app, and I'm going to probably do a short video on this. You have to have the app open to get that to work. Okay. So hopefully that helps someone. So what I would like to do is continue to explore ChatGPT. I guess I'm in the browser version. Okay. So on the left side, it's obviously saving all these chats that I've done in the past, which is nice. Because if you want to go back to them, right, you know, I can search it and, you know, here's the web builders, right? So ideas for web builders. So I can go back and not have to start from scratch and look up information. Or one of these probably has where I asked it how to set the hotkeys. So the nice thing is it gets saved and it's all there. Okay, if I ever want to go back, right? So I was looking for a picture, for that website. And so these are all, I had it using prompts, making pictures for the website. So number one, and look at today, right? How do you do the hotkeys? On the left, it will save all the conversations. Now, in the app, it is there too. This makes a new chat, but I think, so opening the sidebar. This allows me to go back and find all the past chats that I've had. Okay, so, and if you want a brand new one, then you just open it for a brand new one. Okay, so that was good to know, and that closes that. So, again, you have the difference between ChatGPT app program that's downloaded on your computer and ChatGPT browser, right? And I find I use them both, but using the hotkeys, absolutely made a difference for me. Okay, and eventually I want to do hotkeys for other AIs, models that I'll be using. So what I'd like to do is continue to explore. So what I think happens is when you use other AI tools, I guess they get kind of downloaded into your ChatGPT. Now let me see, is that the same for my app? Okay, so library. Okay, so this is neat. That's just a quick library of all the pictures I've had it make. I really like that. So until this video, I did not know that. So I can go back really quick and find all the pictures. So that's the app. And this is all the pictures I had it create. This is great. That's great. I had no idea that little thing was there. So see all that we're learning. So on the left, it looks like these are probably, you know, extensions that have been added to ChatGPT, right? So if I ask something and it needs Canva extension, then it adds that extension. And again, to this point, I have not spent one dime. Everything I've done has been completely free. There's plenty of, paid versions of things, and boy, I could see going down that rabbit hole quick. I mean, I'm so excited about all this that I could see you spending hundreds of dollars a month just for these tools that I may or may not use again. So I'm really forcing myself to only use the free version of everything. Eventually, when I understand this stuff enough, then I have no doubt I'll probably buy some tools that I find are the best, but it's going to change quickly. One tool this month, literally 2 months from now, may not be the best tool. That was like the AI website. I was really tempted to just buy that tool for 10 web. And, again, they're all giving you the best discount if you spend buy a whole year ahead of time. So it's so tempting, but I know in the next 4 months there's probably going to be a free AI web builder. I don't know, or a less expensive one or a better one. So I just didn't want to get locked into anything. Now I tell you, I have used Reddit a lot. So when I was tempted to buy 10 web, I did go to Reddit and just put in it. Is 10 web worth it? So I just, see again, I forget. This browser is very specifically set that any search I do here goes through ChatGPT. It doesn't go through the internet. So I wonder if this actually did a search of Reddit. So beginner friendly, I agree with that. AI powered features, I agree. Time saving, absolutely. Editing changes, didn't really get into it. High cost. Yeah, I mean, $10 a month was certainly not all that high, but they had higher tiers. Don't know about support, okay? But again, this was all from ChatGPT. I really want to go to Reddit, which it's not really sending me. Now let's see what the sources say. Okay, so those sources, all right, here. So here's the Reddit sources. Okay. Still not quite like what I would have wanted. So let me just open up a browser that is absolutely not. That the search bar at the top is not set with ChatGPT, right? So, what does it say about? And again, I just like Reddit because I just find that it's real people. I was looking up an office chair, and you could go through all the internet reviews, but I just find that you get the real information, through Reddit. Even Amazon, you can't seem to believe the reviews, that they have all these fake reviews on there. So I use Reddit all the time when I want kind of the population's, review on something. So sorry, I just got a text I can answer. Sorry, I'm just on here. So again, I use Reddit all the time. So going back here, what I would like to explore is these Explore GPTs. Now, is that the same in this? Do they have, yeah, Explore GPT. So they're probably similar. Are they the same though? So yes, it looks like they're the same ones that are popping up here from the app to the browser. So, what are these? I don't know. I think some of them are ones that, again, it's such a weird thing to learn, but it's all about prompting, right? What to ask ChatGPT. So I think a lot of these are kind of these apps or extensions that are pre-prompted ChatGPT, right? That's the kind of the way that I see it. But that's what I kind of want to learn today. So I'm going to ask it to start with. Let's see, what are they calling these? Custom versions of ChatGPT that combine instructions, extra knowledge, and any combination of skills. So I don't know if that quite did what I said, but so productivity. Let's see what this does. Now, I believe some of these are free. I believe some of them you can pay for. I believe you can make your own and publish them, and maybe they're listed based on reviews. Like the more people that love it or whatever, the higher they show in this list. Or maybe this is it. I don't know. Let's see. Because maybe ChatGPT only lists these 12 and nobody else gets on there. Maybe they're all. Let's see. Is there 12 for each? So it looks like every category has 12. So that one has 11. So does that mean there's more? There's got to be more, I think. So I thought this would be more like a store, like a Chrome extension. So I don't know how these are the ones that get picked. So let's just start playing. What I saw is, did I see resume? So let's see, do I want writing or do I want productivity? Okay, so like a resume builder. So let's see what this means. Okay, all right, so this is like a Chrome extension thing, it looks like. By combining the expertise of top resume writers with advanced AI, we assist in diagnosing and enhancing your resume. Tailor your resume. So is this free? Conversation starters. Can you help me analyze my resume? Can you help me tailor my resume? So start chat. And again, so I don't know. Did this really just start a whole prompt to let ChatGPT know? All these prompts are already put in there. That's the way I understand it, and I could be wrong. So in the chat or the comments, please let me know if you understand this better and maybe can explain it. All right, so combining the expertise, tailor your resume, support, resume download. You can do it on jobwrite.ai. Can you help me analyze resume? Can you help me tailor my resume? Find jobs that fit with my background. How to make my resume compliant. So I'm going to do this first. Analyze your resume free for years. So this looks like it's taken me somewhere else. Or you can upload. So I recently uploaded or updated my LinkedIn, and with that it suggested to upload or have a resume, which I believe I did. I know I'm showing all my personal files here. You guys care that much? So resumes, do I have, there we go. So there's my resume that I create, and I think I created a lot of this with AI anyways. So I'm going to upload it and see what it has to say. Here's what I extracted. I reviewed and confirmed it looks accurate before we move forward. So my name, my LinkedIn, my address. Result-driven entrepreneur, industrial engineering, 35 years of expertise of real estate, e-commerce, direct sales, financial market, adept at merging, hands-on. Wow, these resumes always make you sound so good. Okay. So anyways, it's kind of going through this. Please reply if everything looks good. Once confirmed, I will proceed with a detailed overall diagnostic on 10 dimensions and then do an even deeper bullet by bullet analysis. So okay, so I confirmed it all. So it's scoring this. That's interesting. So use action verbs. So it's giving me scales on each one of these. Okay, so that's, right? It's kind of scoring it. And again, I think I had AI write most of it, so, it's probably pretty good. So most of them are 8, 9s, and 10s, except 1, 7. Very strong overall, 9 out of 10. We should boost methodology, explanation to make a few more, whatever. So, again, going back to, the point would be, if I wanted to start from ChatGPT scratch, it could do the same thing, but I'd have to create all these prompts of going, look, I want a professional resume, and these are the things you should be looking for, and, reference maybe, these blogs and experts on how resumes should be structured, right? So all that, I think, gets preloaded when you use, this resume ChatGPT. That's my understanding of it. So let's see what else we've got here. So going back to Explore, Canva, right? That's kind of developing things. I think there's a paid for, so let's just see, but this is already kind of in there. So I'm going to start a chat. So, and again, I probably preloaded stuff. How about inspirational quotes? I need a poster. I need Instagram. Let me just see if it can do something like this. So, help me create thumbnail for today's YouTube live. GenX versus AI. Let's learn and struggle to learn AI together. So I have no idea what it'll say. So, starting to bring your vision to life. Start your creative journey with Canva. What will we design today? Got it. You're looking for a YouTube live thumbnail with the theme. The message, right? Should it feel more fun and motivating? Serious? Okay. Also summarizing your request for Canva. GenX. Ready to fetch some designs. 1 second. Canva wants to talk to Jet. So I have to allow Canva. Okay. So I'm allowing the plugin. So again, this feels like you're allowing the Google Chrome extension. Okay. Here are 2 thumbnail options. Okay, so it did actually create it. So I'm going to say something more fun. So maybe it already kind of knows what So it looks like I gotta say allow every time. That's interesting. So unlike a Google extension, usually you could do it one time. Now it all just disappeared on me. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I guess I was just thinking, now why is this all out of whack? So something happened. So somehow, oh, let's see what we got down there. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, something more fun. All right, as a thumbnail. Now that doesn't quite look like the thumbnails I see. So let me say, so I'm going to upload the thumbnail that I normally use and see if it can kind of use that to design now. Hopefully I have a clue. Oh, I'm in resumes. I apologize. I haven't been really good at saving this stuff like I should. I don't know. That might be under downloads. Because I don't think I put it in the file like I should have, but maybe I did. Yeah, I think it's one of these. Yeah, there we go. So I need to put that in the correct file. So that's the one I mainly use. Let me see if it can use that and make a runoff from that. So let's just see. This is this will be interesting. So I got to allow it again. It does go black, so that's interesting. And it hasn't charged me at this point either, so that, you know, that's kind of cool. So I don't know. These have not really impressed me so far. So what am I thinking here? Number one, it's using Canva maybe. I don't know. Let me go back to just ChatGPT and say the same thing, right? I know I should be copying and pasting instead of typing all this out. Okay, let's find 10 tips and tricks. Okay, use this attached picture use the let's see, use the attached picture and change for a thumbnail. I don't know. My wording's terrible. I hate writing. That's why I'm so excited about AI, because it's going to be allowed somebody that does not like to write like me, because I can say these terrible things like this and it seems to figure it all out. So that's been pretty exciting for me. So I want to see, the other one was Canva, right? And Canva is a program that helps you do all these things. So let me see if I just did ChatGPT Direct, if it has a better, comes out with a better outcome. And, maybe I'll try Gemini, and I'll try, you know, I already forgot the name, Copilot, and see what it comes with. I do find that ChatGPT does take longer, which maybe means it starts thinking more. So while that's going on, I am going to open up Copilot, and I'm smart this time. I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to upload that image. That, of course, I still have not put in a good spot, and see what that comes up with, if it does at all. Okay, so moving that aside, and let's see, was it Grok that I kind of liked? So let me pull this out. I don't know if it's in the complete background, if it'll keep working. That's why I'm trying to open up another browser session. So let me go to Grok and ask the same thing. Upload a picture. And see what that comes up with. So in the meantime, this gives me instructions, but does not seem to give me a picture. This definitely took that. All right, I like it. So ChatGPT directly, I don't think they look, directly. Wow, I'm very impressed with that. I really like that. This did the best job, and let's see what this one looks like. So Grok also did it. Not too bad. I don't think these guys look as much like that. So to me, ChatGPT won, and I might even use this. I think I'm going to make another video right after this and use this as the thumbnail for it. I love it. So I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to also say, I've done this where you just say again. Let's see. More funny. More, I don't know, humor. So and again, ChatGPT definitely thinks deeper, but I'm just so impressed by it. If that doesn't blow your way, I don't know. Our society, because everything is so sensationalized, I feel that our society has lost their minds, number one, but I just don't think people realize how amazing some of this stuff is. So I'm very, very impressed with that. So while that's happening, let me try another one. So this wasn't bad. So the Copilot wasn't bad. All it did, though, is really, even though it did change the image of the person, and it was quicker, and it always comes up with 2, which I like too, but it didn't really make the words like I would expect a thumbnail these days, where I think ChatGPT did that. I don't even know I can't spell humorous, right? Let's see if we can figure it out. That's why I like these AIs, because they can pretty much figure out what I'm saying anyways. Oh. Okay. That's interesting. I like it. I like that too. So, for a thumbnail, why not, right? I like it. God. Okay, so I've hit my free plan. It happens a lot. Okay, so let's see what this one did. Yeah. Control Alt Delete. Yeah, that's actually pretty funny. I do like that. So I like that one too. So I like them. So you know what? I am going to save this one, and maybe I'll do 2 videos. And I'm going to save this one, and I'm going to save this one. All of them are good. So in the end, I think I would use them both in the future. Now, the whole thing with Canva, I wasn't that impressed with, right? This, you guys saw it. This, versus using the Canva stuff. Can I get back to the Canva? Yeah. I think this is, but it wasn't definitely not able to use my picture to make it, and I don't think it picked up on the GenX being an older person kind of thing. So in that case, using ChatGPT directly is better, and I'm gonna kind of keep using that. So let's see, one more we'll do here. Image generator. So this is an actual image generator. So again, maybe it's prompting. So they're not getting very good stars. I'm kind of surprised, but let's see what it does. So I'm going to do the same thing and see. And I'm going to add a picture. Oh, will it let me add a picture? Okay, so why can't I do anything? Oh, you've reached your limit. Okay, gotcha. So this is where I've told you before, I have multiple Google Chromes. So I am just going to go back to a different one to use it, right? Because I hit my limit. So let me do this. Now it's not letting me add a picture. I don't know why that is. Oh, because I'm using the wrong one, so I need a different one. Let's just try a different one. Yes, so yeah, I'm hitting my limit on all of these, so I don't know. I don't usually use this one, so I don't know if this one's going to be more of a... I don't want to use that. I just want to be in ChatGPT. I don't know. This one is the first one I've ever, used or whatever, and somehow I've got this AIRP. I don't know what that is. It's probably something good, but I've never used it. Don't really know how to use it, so I gotta... Maybe that'll be a new one to look at. So going back, I just want to... Oh, wait, I don't want to do this. I need to go to the Explorer for imaging. Now, that's interesting. So I think because it's got this AI PRM, it's picking its own imaging. So I have no idea. So this one, the ratings, let's just see if there's a free version. I'm going to upload. Again, this is using these ChatGPTs or GPTs already pre-made to use these. So let's see. I need to go under downloads. I'm just trying to get to that original picture, just so it's consistent, right, between them. So again, we'll see if this ends up being much different, because it already has, again, these GPT prompts built in. Very interesting. Now, the first thing I notice is, see how this is wide? I have not... This is the first time I've seen one go wide. I was pretty much thinking all pictures had to be about the same size, so that's kind of nice. And I know I'm jumping around here, but I'm just kind of curious. The other thing that I noticed is it came up quicker. right? This definitely popped up quicker than the other ones did. So interesting. I don't know. This is awfully interesting. I like it. I like it. So you know what? I'm gonna download them if I can. Yeah. So I'm keeping them. We'll see if I use them. So I can definitely see where learning these, getting used to them, or there's absolutely a value in it. So, and what are these called? I don't know. What are we gonna do? So I'm just asking it to give me an explanation of what GPTs are. And ultimately, I think I will, once I stop this, is open up a YouTube video and just see if somebody kind of explains it. Okay, this is not really giving me what I want. So I think what I would do next is... Oops. Okay. Okay, so this was a year ago.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your...
ChatGPT has just introduced GPTs, which is a big leap in the world of AI.
Whoops.
And GPTs are basically a custom version of ChatGPT that you could build yourself without any technical knowledge, any coding, and you can train them with your own set of data, and you could give it your own set of instructions. And if you decide to share them, you could share them publicly, or you could just keep it private and use it privately to interact with your own data. And these are meant to be very specific version of ChatGPT with a very narrow focus. Now, just to show you a few different examples, OpenAI, when they released this, they actually created a bunch of different GPTs for us to test out. So this one, for example, is called Game Time, and its very narrow purpose is just to teach you or explain board games and card games, and it will do this for any type of board games and card games. This other one is called Tech Support Advisor. It basically helps you troubleshoot things like printers in a step-by-step format. This is the one I've been training for the last couple of days. This is called AI Guide, and it's an AI expert with the latest AI insights. And I gave it my own set of instructions. I completely trained it with my own data, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this yourself.
So this video, I don't know, I'm going to watch it and see what it does. So I just wanted a good understanding of what these explorers, what this means. I think I know, and I certainly understand it a little bit more, but let's see if this AI guide is still there that he's talking about. All right, AI guide. Let's see that logo. Yeah, it looks about right. So this is his. Oh, he's got a high rating, it looks like. So we'll start that. And this is a way to learn. So I'm going to end it here. Please like, subscribe, and share. Again, I'm not sure anybody else is doing it slow and steady like I am. So for some, maybe this is what somebody's looking for. Others, that maybe this is something good to put you to sleep at night. So I promise I will get better over time. But I really appreciate any that have joined or watched this later on. Someday when I figure it out, I will try to break these into smaller segments, and or like today I think I'm going to do a recording. So I'm going to try to do a short recording of a tip and a trick, right? And maybe those hotkeys.